Hey, top of the day. This segment is not my normal topic in a sense, but I'm gonna go right on into it. Straight, no chaser. You know, a lot of people are fearful or just deceive themselves. I'm gonna show you or identify the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is that we are under the guardianship of a wicked, wicked system. The United States of America has collaborated to imprison not just melanated people, but their own people. Imprison them with fear, imprison them with lies and misdirections and just straight up evil, nefarious acts. You know, right now in the day, that people they struggling. They struggling. But I bet you one thing, not one of those politician magicians up on Capitol Hill or the devil in the White House not struggling. And that's why they can continue to flag money in front of our face like this demon in the White House at this current moment going to try to give the insurrectionists $1.776 billion. With the bread that he said he was giving the people, the 5,000, the 2,000, the 1,000. See, the people that follow this demon, they don't see because they in it's like they're in that game. They support that party, and so they're not holding this dude accountable. But it's not just him. The the other politicians, they're in the legislative branch on the left and the right, are criminals. And it's no other way to look at it. You know, they make it seem like the left make it seem like they had the best interest of the people, but in the long run, they are in collusion with the right. They only could do with so much, and they are under the same umbrella of the government behind the government. Trump is only the president of the corporation. He's not even the CEO. There's people that own the United States, the bankers, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergs, the J.P. Morgans, BlackRock, Vanguard. That's who owns the monopoly money that we exchanging every day. Don't believe me? Look on the front of it. It'll tell you what it is. It's a Federal Reserve note. So I'm bringing this to the forefront because the people, it's like, as long as we got food and a shelter and a comfortability, we don't care about, truth. We don't care that this society is being deconstructed right in front of our eyes. And the deconstructors are the ones that supposed to be showing us the way. If you have your child in training to be a politician, you have your child in training to be a devil. And I know that all politicians is not as wicked as some of these politicians that's trying to roll back the timeline instead of going forward. And this is one of the greatest mistakes that these devils are operating in. You can't take the timeline back. It can't. You can't make America great again in a concept that you're proposing. You have to move forward. They got to develop. We're not going to go back to using the 8-track tape or the cassette because they had their time. And the way that this government is running, it had its time. And that's why it's coming to this acme, to its point, to this pinnacle. And then we had the ideology of white nationalists and white supremacy. When Joe Biden told these demons and the rest of the United States citizens by 2040 that the European Caucasian so-called whites were going to be the minority, they said, you know what? They looked at the numbers and they said, man, he's on to something. And this is why the mass deportation and other things that's going on. They want to make America white again, at any cost, even if it's for the collapse of America because of their racism and their hatred and their so-called white nationalist ideologies. This is a poison. And I'm telling all European Caucasians, man, whatever you do, stir your children away from politics until a new system comes. Because what's going to happen is they're going to have good intentions, and then they're going to get sucked in, and they're going to see that these people are getting paid, and they are stealing, and they are robbing, and your child going to become a crook. Your child going to become a politician, magician, a warlock, or a witch, a sorcerer, lying, stealing, advocating for taking the people's lives because they don't live the way that we live here in the West. This is the most deprived culture on the planet morally, because the god of this country is money. In other countries, they really have culture. Capitalism is not a culture. Tell me what American culture is. Country music? That's stupid. We talking about a way of life, the mindset. Y'all got Christianity, churchianity, because this is not, y'all not following the ways of the Christ. The most powerful church in the United States, side to side with the Catholicism, is white nationalist church. And the Pope, I'm speaking about the church, at least he had the decency to apologize for slavery. United States of America, they haven't, and they never will, because they looking at, if they admit it, this opened up the doors for reparations. So they're not, that's the only reason they're not admitting it. They know that it was cruel. They know that it was the most distasteful thing that ever happened on this soil that we can recall. And they don't want to apologize because they're money hungry. They don't want to break bread with the children of the slaves. But they want to give $1.7 billion to the people to try to topple the government. You know what $1 billion is for the so-called black community? $1 billion is $1 million to every black person that's eligible, and they got that number up to 44 million. So what that's saying, you can smash so-called blacks off the 44 million and get the nasty taste out of our mouth because how y'all dogged and dragged our forefathers, and you still living on the fumes of white supremacy right now in the day. And then with the 44 million out of the billion, there's still $956 million left. That's only out of the billion. I ain't even talking about the other 1.77 million. See, people don't know the numbers game, but they're going to try to give a white nationalist attempted coup of the peaceful transfer of power $1 billion for their suffering and their treatment. Man, this don't even make no sense. You know what? And people still, so-called melanated people, see what's going on, and because they intoxicated off that Trump juice, they're not standing up and, and denouncing this dude. This is the most wickedest thing that has happened in a long time, besides them just going bombing places, raiding places, looting places, stealing people's natural resources. America is a pirate. This is the land of pirates. This ain't the land of the free and the good way of life. Our governments are pirates, and they've been pirates. They've been robbing and stealing. They calling the Somalians pirates and all these names for these people that they don't get along with because they're trying to steal their resources, like Fidel Castro down in Cuba, Noriega down in Panama. Then they went over into Africa and toppled governments. This is what the United States do. But nope, we're gonna act like that ain't happening. It is happening, and it's the reality. And people need to wake up and stop drinking that political juice and stand on some good business, because this don't going down. And everybody that's with it, you're going down with it. I bring this message in love. I leave you this message in peace. One.